Welcome to Cooking for Baby and Me. I'm Lauren Rabin. On today's show, our featured ingredient is mushrooms, and we'll be making vegan mushroom soup and oven-roasted mushrooms with truffle oil, goat cheese, and chives. Joining us in the kitchen today is Dr. Jami Avellini, an OBGYN from St. Luke's University Health Network, and Anthony Bonett from Mosholu. Thanks for joining us today, Chef. I'm so excited to see what you're going to be making with mushrooms. Let's get started.
We have a couple fun, very simple things. We focused specifically on just white mushrooms. There's a lot of different mushrooms, but my first thought, if you're cooking for a child, then I think stick with white mushrooms or cremini mushrooms. They're very plain, you know, it's kind of straightforward flavor. They're not very complicated. Jami, you're going to be cooking for baby?
Yeah,
okay.
Sounds good.
So the twist here is that we're going to do sort of a vegan take. We're going to start off with coconut butter instead.
Great. So, and that was just how much? About a tablespoon?
Yeah, that was about a tablespoon. And you want to put your onions and carrots in. You could stir that up and season with a little salt and pepper.
Great.
For the parents, this is a really nice, simple side dish. So we're going to get our pan hot. When you're sauteing mushrooms, I think it's important to use a good amount of oil.
What are some of the health benefits of mushrooms?
So mushrooms are one of the only foods where they actually have a great source of vitamin D, which you often can get from other fish, but if you are looking for more of a plant-based diet, it is a great source of vitamin D, which helps to control your calcium levels. Babies do need an extra source of vitamin D, so it's great for breastfeeding moms to take extra vitamin D when they're breastfeeding.
And it's probably good to have them during the winter months when you're not outside as much.
Exposed to the sun.
Right.
Exactly.
We could put our potatoes in.
So are those cooked potatoes or raw?
They're not. They're raw potatoes.
Okay.
We're going to cook it all together. We just put our mushrooms in the oil. We're going to let them kind of just sear a little bit. Put some pepper on it. I don't think we need the pepper for the baby's dish.
When do you suggest introducing spices to a baby's diet?
That's an acquired taste, so you can start doing that as soon as they start solids. It's typically around 4 to 6 months, depending on your pediatrician's advice.
I put a little butter in with the mushrooms. They'll help them brown.
Oh, okay.
Then we have some shallots.
And the butter just adds to the flavor, and it's always good to add a little bit of fat to your diet.
Absolutely. That helps keep all those macronutrients in check. So you have your protein, your carbohydrates, and your fats.
So we put our mushrooms in. So let's go ahead. We have vegetable broth. We're going to pour our hot vegetable broth into the soup. Our little different ingredient, we are doing a vegan mushroom soup. We have oat milk.
Okay.
So it's milk made from oatmeal. Yeah, I just thought it was a nice little ingredient. It adds a nice nutritional value. So as I said, before you puree, season. Make sure your seasoning's good. Okay, be careful. And I'm just going to pulse. Okay, and as you see, when you're cooking when you have hot liquids, always use your lowest setting.
And you could
So
really
once you're going, it's going fine. And, you know, like I said, we can really adjust how much you want to puree it depending on your child or what your child wants to eat. This is a little bit thin, but it's going to thicken up a little bit as it cools, and you can reduce it a little more in the pot.
And it's great to leave it a little thicker.
Yeah, and you see you have a little bit of texture in it, so it's good, especially if your
introducing new
child's
textures.
starting to chew and has teeth, and, you know, so.
Right. Introducing textures to babies is so important as well.
Absolutely, and especially doing it earlier on because they develop their palate so much earlier, and then you may not have aversions later on in life.
Put a little bit of goat cheese in right now while they're hot.
Oh, wow. So this looks incredible, and it smells amazing.
Very good.
Delicious.
Yeah.
It's so creamy,
Yeah,
and I
and it
can't
is.
believe that you didn't use any dairy in that. Amazing.
Yeah, it has a nice natural flavor to it. Yep. Okay,
Let's grab
mushrooms. Here we go.
Thank you.
This is one of my favorite things. Love this on steak or anything.
Love goat cheese.
So flavorful, so
Delicious.
professional, and any mom can make this in their home for their family.
Absolutely.